Alright, bicycle adventures. Alright, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a bicycle vlog, but I didn't do one last week because I had work and I had to go to work on a weekend. I don't have the time, but I'm gonna try to make this one as quick as possible because I always tend to drag them out. I don't have my watch, but I have my phone, so let's see. It's 4:20. But today I wanted to talk about the 5 things I like about Japan and the 5 things I don't like about Japan. And I wrote it down on my hand just in case. I wrote it down on my phone, but I didn't want to take it out and ride my bicycle. So we're gonna go through this park actually. I actually was running here during the day, and there were so many people here, and there was some sort of like a school performing some sort of drum special. And I'm gonna leave the whole what would you call it? I wouldn't say song, but the performance. I'll leave the whole performance at the end of the video, and I'll probably put like a little bit of it right now. I'm trying to get through these bars, but yeah, this park was really packed today. Right now it's semi-packed, and this is like a huge park right down the street from me. But he's yelling at the kids. All right, so I'm gonna go with what I like about Japan, and you know, these are my own opinions. It doesn't reflect on anybody else. This is what I've just come up with really quick. And so look at, they have like these terracotta warrior type stuff here, and they're always here. They're here again. So I guess they've been here all day. So they did a performance here. I'll leave the whole performance at the end of the video. It was really cool. There's people taking pictures. Oh. And so all right, so let's go with it. I think it's like a local high school. But all right, so the number one thing, they're not in order as well. They'll just be in random. For me, one thing is I like how everything is so clean in Japan. Everything is really clean, and just like what people say, everything is super clean. You go to the city and it's clean, although in some parts of the city people consider it dirty, like Namba, which I've made like plenty of videos there. A lot of people say they don't like it because it's dirty, but I don't think it's that dirty. But I guess a lot of local Japanese people say it is. And so there's parts of the town where it is dirty, but for the most part everything is so clean. And I don't know how not to get used to it because I'm so used to this. I don't know what I would do if I went somewhere else. I've lived in China, in Shanghai, about 4 years, and the city itself is pretty clean. But the city itself is pretty clean, but there's parts of the city in Shanghai that is not really clean, and it's actually really dirty. But for majority of like the city itself, it's pretty clean. So yeah, even like I would say, even compared to America, it's probably a lot cleaner than America it is. And actually my girlfriend visited San Francisco, and I've never actually been to San Francisco, but she did, and she told me that it's quite dirty there. So I mean, compared to here, I guess, and I guess compared to my city, Chicago, I would say it's pretty it's cleaner here. All right, so let's move on with it. Another thing is cost of living. You would think, right? Everyone says Japan is expensive. It is expensive, but if you live like a local Japanese person, it's not that expensive. If you live outside of Tokyo, the cost of living is pretty low. The rent is not, you can find a pretty good place for not too expensive. But if you live in Tokyo, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. So that's the one thing. Before I moved to Japan, I always thought that it was so expensive to live in Japan, so I never considered it. But I have a friend who lives in Osaka and told me that it wasn't that expensive. So right now I pay about, I would say like $900 for a 2-bedroom, and I live out in the suburbs, and it's, as you can see, it's really nice. All right, so let's keep moving. The third thing I put down is, oh, I think I'm supposed to get off my bicycle, but the third thing I put down is that everyone's really nice in Japan. Everyone's really friendly. People have good manners, and people are very polite. You know, not everyone is gonna be super nice. There are good and bad people anywhere in the world, but for the majority here, people are pretty friendly and nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people don't like how Japanese people are too nice, and sometimes people say it can be they're being fake, but I think it's genuinely that people have to be nice here. And even though if it's fake, I think it's better people being fake and nice than people just being mean. So to the people who say that, I think it's better than people being mean. Yeah. And let's go through these small cracks here. So yeah, so I think yeah, people are generally nice. People are friendly, especially if you're a tourist. They'll go out of the way to help you find your way. And that's it. I thought it's gonna be like a long street. The next thing is, I can't read my handwriting here. Easy and lots of things. Yeah. Is this? Can I get out of here? I like how Japan is located in Asia, where it's actually very easy to travel inside of Japan through the Shinkansen, the bullet train, and it's also easy to travel through airplane, by airplane. And I mean, I can go to Korea within an hour. I can go to the Philippines in 5 hours. I can go to Thailand in 5 hours. And the prices, if you go through like budget airlines like AirAsia, Scoot, or Peach, you can go to these places for real cheap, like $150 to $200. I've been to Thailand for $250. I went to Korea for $150. It's strategically located in a good spot for me. Oh, I just went through a nest of bugs. And for me, it's really good for me to stay in, because that's actually one of my main purposes moving to Japan. I wanted to travel a lot more. If you live in America and if you want to go to like Asia or Europe, you're gonna have to spend at least a day or two. You have to subtract a day or two out of your holiday, because you have to travel, and then the time zones are all different. So I mean, most people in America, to travel outside of the country, it's extremely hard. I mean, it's not doable, but it's just, I would say you would lose a lot of time and energy just to leave, and money, because it's going to be more expensive because you're traveling further. All right, I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of things to do. Oh yeah, and then there's the last one, number 5, is there's a lot of things to do in Japan itself. I live between Osaka and Kyoto, and I can go to Osaka in 30 minutes and I can go to Kyoto in 30 minutes, and there's so many things to do. There's temples, there's a lot of history, there's a big city in Osaka. I can go to Kobe in an hour. So for me, there's so many things to do, it's endless. And even if I wanted to go to Tokyo, I can go there in 2 hours. Oh my gosh, there's so many bugs here. So I can go to Tokyo in like 2 hours. All right, so that's those are the 5 things that what I like about Japan. The 5 things I don't like about Japan, which aren't that serious. And it was really hard for me to actually think of something that I don't like about Japan, because I really like living here. I had to get help from my girlfriend, and okay, so the first thing, and these are not by order, this is just randomly. Whoa, look at this. This is a new Lexus. LS. Wow. LSF? Yikes. Oh, what's in there? All right, so let's see. All right, Japan has a lot of rules. There's rules for everything, and you have to do everything a certain way. Like, you can't cut corners, you can't cut anything. You have to do it a certain way, and that's it. This is a step-by-step process. If you go to like government buildings, if you go to anything like official, you have to like wait in this line to get this thing, then you wait in this line to get in this thing, and then you have to wait in another line, and there's just a lot of, would you say like bureaucracy? I don't know how to say it right, but that, and it comes down to all the way even like to like the ways do like companies do it. They need to like, you always have to do it a certain way, and like there's no changing of anything. Like, oh, this house looks so nice. Like if you go to like a restaurant, and I see I do this too, and a lot of tourists do this too. Like, you go to a restaurant, you're like, all right, can you not put in this mustard and put in ketchup? Like, they don't do that for you, and like it's kind of frustrating sometimes, because you're like, I don't eat cheese or something. This is just an example. I don't eat cheese, can you replace it with this? They're like, no, they have no, there's no idea of customization. It's just like, okay, this is how we have it, this is how you're supposed to eat it, and that's it. And so it gets frustrating sometimes. Like if you go to China, let's go to this cool parking lot. I wonder what's under there. If you go to China, they customize everything for you. Like if you say you don't want this or you want that, they'll do it for you. Oh, what is this? Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought the wheel was bent like this. That's cool. This wheel is just out here. Nobody's gonna take it. All right. So anyways, yeah. Oh, I should have put one of those. Okay. Also, I should have said safe. That's for so let's going back to things I do like. Japan is super safe. People just leave their rims outside like that. People just leave their keys inside of their scooters. I've seen so many scooters with keys in them just out in the open. When I lived in China and Shanghai, I was getting so frustrated because every time I had a scooter, and I just had a towel to clean my scooter, and every time I put in like a cheap microfiber cloth in that scooter, it would always be gone. Someone would steal my towel. So frustrating. But yeah, everything's super safe here. You can walk around with thousands of dollars in your pocket. Nobody's gonna say anything. I mean, I'm coming from America. Japan is super safe. You'll hear about like murders and stuff like that, but those are like, they deal with their own like family and such, and like there's a lot of people that do commit suicide, but overall speaking, what is this, the MR2? Oh shoot, it's an MR2. Overall speaking, can you see that? Let me see. Man, that's an old 90s MR2. All right, let me see how I'm doing on time. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. All right, overall speaking, Japan is super safe. Kids, you'd be surprised. Kids who are like there's kids over here. They're like, kids let their parents let their kids who are like 5 to 6 year old just take the train by themselves. I used to work at a kindergarten, and then after the kindergarten finished, I knew several kids, because I did work at a international kindergarten, and it was for a lot of rich people. And after the kindergarten finished, they would let their first grader son travel like an hour away, because they go to a good school, and if you go to a good school, you have to travel a little bit. So they would let them travel. Is this a dead end? They would let them travel for like an hour by themselves on a train. I mean, you could not do that in America. Leave your 6-year-old son or daughter to take a train and go to school by themselves. There's no way you can do that in America. So it's super safe. But although too, I do hear of a lot of guys harassing women. So if you have like a daughter, oh, they're all dead ends. If you have like a daughter who is young, you might have to be careful of that. And that's something that I would be afraid of if I did have a daughter. There's a lot of harassment that happens with older men, and that's why they have like, not even older men, just regular men, and that's why they have like their own, women have their own car on trains, like where only women can go into, because there's a lot of incidents where men are groping the women on the train, especially like young schoolgirls, young high school, maybe high school girls. And I've worked with several Japanese girls that have told me that they've been groped on the train or harassed physically. So that's one thing you do have to watch out. So it is safe to live as far as crime goes, but if you're a girl, you might get harassed by men. All right, so after many rules, okay, the next thing is something that I don't like is there's not that much variety of food. Japan really prides themselves on their food, and they really have good udon, they have ramen, they have like tonkatsu, they have sushi, they have the meats. But other than that, you can't get much more of a variety than that. Let's go through here. I think this leads to my house. But what is this sign? What is this? So, you know, you want like a burger, you want to get some of these special food, you have to go to a certain place to get them. And oh, this is like just an apartment complex. All right, what am I doing here? I better get out of here. So there isn't much variety of food. Like you can't get like, you know, special Chinese food, or it's just like one thing and one thing. But they're really good at that one thing, whether it's you know, curry or udon or ramen. They do a really good job with it. Even with the fast food restaurants, they take pride in everything they do. That's what Japanese people do. They really take pride in everything that they do. Even if they work at a fast food restaurant, they do a really good job of everything, and they really take pride in that. So even if you go to like a fast food restaurant, it's pretty good. But if you want like anything different or any variety, it's not a headache, but it's not easy. Where like when I used to live in China, like there was just so many different types of Chinese food. You never get sick of Chinese food. In America, you just have so many variety of food. So here, you don't have much of it, but the food that they do have is really delicious. All right, working conditions. Yeah, Japanese people really want you to work hard. It's part of like, it's just how people are raised here, like in school too. You're part of like you're like part of a unit. You're not an individual. So all right. So if you work in a Japanese company, they really overwork you. Like you'll work like 12 hours and you don't really get overtime, and that's why a lot of people do commit suicide, because they're overworked, stressed, and pressured by their bosses. And for women too, women can't really, you know, I feel like it's very a male dominant society with work. But even though that women are getting chances to make more money and have higher roles in companies, it's still like male dominated, with a lot of older men dominating these kind of companies. So if you work, even if you work at a teaching job, you're still kind of overworked, and they try to, you know, pinch every penny out of you. And compared to like America, where in America you kind of do your work and you finish what you do, and that's it. Like that's what you get paid for. But here they just kind of keep pushing you to work as much as possible. And like for me too, I only wanted to work weekdays, but my company makes us come sometimes on the weekends, and we usually don't do anything. They say it's a meeting, but you know, it's not really much of a meeting, and I try not to go to these meetings, but you know, I always get pressured to go into them, and it's all because they want to just you know, pinch as much money as possible from the workers. So yeah, the working conditions, it's not great. And if anybody's trying to work for a teaching company, it's hard to find like a really good teaching company or a job at teaching English. You just gotta find the best, least worst one. So the company that I work at is the best, least company that I can find. So I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, anywhere you work, they're just going to try to pinch as much out of you. And then taxes. So there's taxes for like everything. There's taxes. Yeah, they put taxes on I mean, that's how they keep everything clean here, right? But there's a lot of taxes for housing and just a lot of random taxes. But if you compare it to America, America does tax you a lot more than here. I think they tax like 40% out of you, and it all goes to the federal government in America, and it probably goes to the military spending. So nobody wants to pay taxes, but you do have to pay taxes here. And then you also have to pay for insurance, and you pay for insurance by how much you make. So I pay about with taxes and everything, I pay about $500 a month. $500 a month for insurance, but the insurance is pretty good. If I go to a hospital, it's not too bad. I don't pay that much. So this Chaser, oh, look at this house, it's nice. So it's not that bad, but you know, I don't like to pay for them. And one last thing is, so I was talking about man, this house is really big here too. I was talking about how things aren't that expensive here, but there are things that are expensive here as far as like vegetable and food go. I saw this car out here, I wanted to check it out. I think it's just a regular 3 Series with some paint. I feel like I've seen this car before. I think it's just a regular 3 Series. It might be an M3. All right, let's go the other way. All right, so yeah, if you live like a local Japanese person, it's not too expensive, but you know, vegetables and fruit, they're very expensive, and so are other things. So it's not like everything's expensive, but there's a lot of things that are expensive, like if you wanted to buy a nice TV, a lot of Japanese people love buying big TVs, and in Japan they're so expensive, even though they're Japanese companies. Like if you compare it to America, if you buy like a nice 50-inch TV, you're gonna be paying like more than $1,000, and if you go to America, you can buy it for half that price. That's just one example, but like things like makeup and just random things are a little bit more expensive here than they would be in like America or anywhere else. And then like your regular fruit and vegetables are really expensive. Meat is kind of expensive. A lot of things are very expensive. So like I said before, the cost of living is pretty cheap, but you need to like budget right. You have to you know, make sure like you're buying like the things that are not too expensive. And I remember when I first came here, and when I was purchasing like food and grocery, yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of money on food just because I don't keep track of how much I spend. So nowadays, I'm trying to be more frugal with buying food and stuff like that. But I mean, even like vegetables here are more expensive than meat sometimes. And when you go into the restaurants, like I went to a Thai restaurant yesterday, and the papaya salad was more expensive than getting like a meat dish, like a chicken dish. It was like the papaya salad was like $9, and then the chicken and rice was like $9. So you're telling me that the vegetables, a salad is gonna cost more than meat? So Yeah, all right, so yeah, I think those are my list of things I like and I don't like about Japan. I'm sure there's a lot more things, but there's not a lot of things that I could say that I don't like about Japan. I tend to like more things than I don't like, because I do enjoy living here. So those are just my top 5 things. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm probably going to make a grocery haul next, since I have some time today, and I'm going to maybe making more. Oh, look at these houses. Oh, some random. There's a cemetery. These houses are so old school. And you got these like old garages. I'll be making more of these. Bike vlogs, but I just have been so busy. I also live next to a cemetery. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like these bicycle vlogs, and if you have anything to say, please leave a comment. If you want to hear about more things or anything that you're curious about, let me know. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.